Scotty, go ahead.
So
Go. You go ahead, Scotty. You.
All right.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I got my list here.
there's more pressure on going first though, because like if you get that first one wrong, like people are gonna be furious.
You just can't joke.
But Chris, I have to go with my favorite. You know, I enjoy the comedic aspect of this one. I watch it every year. There's like a staple that I watch every year.
Oh, okay.
This one, CG Girl even votes for Scotty. I didn't vote. She feels bad about her tweet. No. And Football Wife put it in the chat, Chris. I gotta go with Elf. I love Elf, dude.
Elf
I love it. I love Elf. I mean, it's the perfect movie. It's funny, but then it's endearing. And like he's just so off the grid with like, I don't know. I think it's hilarious. It plays year after year. Not to mention his dad. His dad in the movie died this past year. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. James Caan.
Yeah. He passed away recently.
Passed away in real life, so R.I.P. to him. And yeah, start me off with Elf. I'm hyped to get Elf. I mean, did you know I wanted Elf? You probably didn't even want Elf. Though.
No. Elf was at the top of my list. Don't worry, it was a good pick. It was a good first rounder. Yeah. No, I think that's a safe pick, and I think that's a really good one.
Hey. We don't want to be swayed by the chat, so don't throw out any of your favorites because we don't want help necessarily. No offense. I like your picks. But Chris might not have even thought of any of these movies. Like Chris might be going like
I might be going
off the grid here. We don't like green bean casserole.
I mean, did someone already take Hocus Pocus 2?
Not yet, Chris. It's still on the board.
Is Hocus Pocus 2 still on the board?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's a couple here that I feel like really stand out. And there's a couple that, like, this is interesting because I'm trying
to also evaluate who you think I might pick.
Exactly. This isn't just a pick for me; it's a pick for you because I have a feeling that there are some that fit here that could go one way or another. I'm gonna go with a classic off the. Oh no, I can't. I grew up on this one. I grew up on this one, and it's always been one Krampus.
Krampus is great.
By the way, did you see the new? There's a one that's like
a Grinch like horror movie.
No, there's a new Santa action thriller where he's like murdering people.
I think that's the Grinch, Chris. Are you sure it's not the Grinch? There's a Grinch movie where it's like a horror flick, like he's murdering.
Well, that's a new one too.
All right, where are you going, Chris? Where are you going?
I'm gonna go Home Alone. I grew up on that one. Home Alone is a classic, and Home Alone is like I remember watching that movie over and over as a kid, and the pranks. I would always set up pranks in my house, even though it wasn't like it was. It's just for fun, right? Home Alone.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That was definitely on my radar with my second round. I had several I was considering, and that was on there. Classic, right around like it came out when we were, kids growing up. It was perfect. You talked about making traps. My son literally makes traps for me the last couple of years after watching Home Alone around the house, and he's like, "Dad, go through here. Dad, go through here." So respect Home Alone, and quite frankly, not that you can't take a sequel, but like part of what is great about Home Alone is I think the second one holds up almost, if not just as well as the original.
Lost in New York.
After that, it gets a little lost, right? I think they had a third. Once Macaulay Culkin was out, it was kind of like, all right, we're done. But Home Alone 2 and Lost in New York City, Lost in New York holds up. So solid pick there with your first pick, Chris. All right, now my chance here, second round. I am. I too am going to take a classic, Chris, depending on how far back. This one goes back a little further. Another comedy. I'm a comedy. I like the comedy, but endearing movies at Christmas time.
Okay.
Like that, The action ones are nice too, and maybe I'll throw one of those in to have a nice diversity on my roster of 5. But for right now, I'm sticking to ones I enjoy because I feel like they hold up. When you watch comedies year after year, I don't know. That's easier for me to do. I'm doing Christmas Vacation, Chris. I'm doing the good old Chevy Chase. I'm doing the Christmas lights all over the place. The disaster that he is with his family when he tries so hard, Chris. But then he works hard and he gets that Christmas bonus for everybody in the company. So it's endearing at the end while being hilarious and just a classic. I mean, the National Lampoon series is pretty damn solid, and this one might be the best of all of them. Chris.
I watch this movie every single year. It is by far the best Christmas comedy and one of the best Christmas. This was literally my number 2 pick. You did well with your number 2 pick. I'll give you that one. Yeah, that's a fair pick there. So, congratulations, Scotty. You got some good value at number 2.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is one that I feel like I can't let drop any further. Because I feel like this is one that is kind of a staple nowadays, and I just it's hard to pass up the Grinch with Jim Carrey. The Jim Carrey Grinch is probably where I gotta go in this one. It's the best Grinch version by far, and it's the only one you should watch in Christmas time. Grinch. And that's
another solid pick, Chris. I mean, that literally my kids watched that last night, or 2 nights ago, Monday night. It is the best Grinch. It's a solid one. Probably would have been my 3rd rounder if you let it slip. So good work there, picking that up.
I think we're nailing the first 2 rounds.
Four pretty solid ones right here. And it also is kind of like telling of like how old we are and when we grew up. Like, not that Christmas Vacation and Elf are that close in the years, but still, this all like dates back to kind of like our childhood, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now
we're getting into the
it gets difficult.
Now rounds.
Maybe like, do I go with ones that I think maybe some people might value more than I do, or do I go with my personal opinion here? Because after these 4 came off, like I only wrote down 7, Chris, hoping like, all right, after 7 I gotta like look at a list. I'm not sure
right now. I mean,
and 4 are gone.
You got the heavy hitters with you got the LeBron, the Dwayne Wade, the Carmelo. We don't have a Darko yet. Chris Bosh in there already. So we've got the big ones out. Now you get the Kirk Heinrichs of the world. You get you get all those now. So
I don't know if it has to be that significant of a drop.
The Polar Express in the chat, Wizard of Oz. I'm earning STG's trust back. STG's like solid pick, and he liked my first pick too. All right, so I'm getting back. STG was pretty critical of my last one.
Yeah, no, I think there's not a lot to complain about right now in these first 4. And I have some off the radar ones that I'm thinking about picking.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna go. So I went endearing and funny and endearing in the first 2. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go the complete opposite of endearing, Chris.
I think I don't know. I think I know one of your picks, and
I'm not going anywhere near endearing right now. But still hilarious in a very, very different way, in a very adult way. This is not one for the children. This is one that also had a sequel that was pretty damn good too.
Oh, I know. I think I know where you're going.
I'm going Bad Santa, Chris. Bad Santa is pretty damn hilarious. I enjoy it. I mean, and it's so different than any other Christmas movie out there, right? Like, not even close to any of the other ones. So yeah, you watch your endearing ones, you feel all warm inside, and then you just need someone that like.
Is there any movie that fits Scotty better than Bad Santa? I mean, it's a perfect fit. Yeah. If Scotty was a Santa, it would be would you think that Scotty would be drinking some whiskey on the side in like a beard, pulling the beard down, drinking some whiskey, and just like having it at it? Like it's just
I would. I would not be a great Santa because I would tell those kids what's up.
No, Bad Santa was on my list. I don't know if I would have taken it here.
Yeah, I didn't. There wasn't one I love for sure. It's interesting that you said one I'm going to take, because I don't even know what I'm going to take.
Well, there's one on this list that it might be a later round, and I don't know if I should steal it or if people will know too much about it, but I know it's on. It's a radar for you. I'm going to go with my next pick. Ooh, all right. This one's kind of a weird one, but it's like, if it's a oh man,
it's tough out there, man. It's tough, you know. There's a lot of Christmas movies, but you gotta factor in, like, because you're trying to win, right? So it's like it's not always about what you like.
Broncos is burning the shot clock violations each and every time. What's up, Jim on Sports Rating with 7. Let's go, Jim. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jim.
Jim, hope you had a fantastic stream. Welcome in. Let me give a shout out to everyone coming over from Jim on Sports. Jim, how was the stream? How's everyone doing? Guys, we're doing a little bit of Christmas draft before we get into week 15 of the NFL. So we need you guys. Barry on deck. Barry, how we doing, Barry?
Yo, Barry.
Man, I got to cover up Scott there. Barry on deck. If you guys aren't following Barry on deck, go do it. He is absolutely incredible. He has a morning show he kind of morning afternoon show.
Afternoon?
Yeah. But Barry crushes it. So go give Barry a follow. Go click on that link in the chat. He is fantastic. He's a comedian too. He brings it on YouTube, and he's a comedian. He does all that good stuff. Stop it, I'm blushing. Hey, Barry.
Yeah. But we are in the thick of maybe the most stressful draft we've ever had. Chris has taken 8 minutes per pick, guys.
And
we're having to like talk through it. There's only so many things I can say. Keep that in mind when you're voting for the winner. The amount of time that Chris took. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go here. I think my next pick that I was gonna take will be there in the next round. I'm gonna go Die Hard. Okay. I'm gonna go Die Hard because who doesn't love action? Who doesn't love freaking snow? Who doesn't love things blowing up all at once? And Die Hard is where it's at. We're gonna go Die Hard in this one. And that is going to be my number 3 pick overall in this one because, I mean, you got to mix up, right? You got the funny, you got the serious, but you got to get the action. And if I don't have action on here, it's not going to happen. So Die Hard.
I think it's a solid pick. And I think a lot of people are going to like that pick out there for sure. For me, like, the argument is it a Christmas movie? It takes place during Christmas, but is it a Christmas movie? I think, and I'm not throwing a flag here. So he can have Die Hard's on your roster. I like the pick. I think it's obviously a good film. And Chris, I'm gonna go the complete opposite direction of Die Hard, and it's probably gonna cost me this whole draft, but I don't care.
This is the pick that I think you're gonna go with.
Yeah, I know. And I was trying to be subtle. I should have taken it at 3, so I just didn't have to worry about it because it's one of my favorite movies, guys. And I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you hate this pick. Here it comes. I love it's such a good story, and there's like 12 different storylines in it, and all of them are good, and they play together, and the writing. This is where we got Mariah Carey's hit from, which might actually be a bad thing because you hear it constantly if you're in stores throughout Christmas. Chris has already typed it.
I know it.
Love Actually, man. I love that shit. I love it. I think that's an incredible movie. It plays so well. Every storyline is pretty solid. Some are happy, some are sad. You got the cheating scandal. You got, the kid who lost his mom, all this stuff. But then you got the happy ones. You got Prime Minister Hugh Grant hooking up with his, assistant or whatever, but it's like in a way where you're like, oh, you want them to be together because it's like a nice story. I don't know. Anyway, love Actually. Love it. Watch it every year. We watched it the other night. I brought my wife onto that movie actually instead of the vice versa. So, yeah, no, I'm all here for.
We got a lot of people
Actually.
in the chat throwing out some things here. So We got Love Actually. Everyone's loving the Love Actually pick. I knew
Not
it was
everyone.
coming, and it was on my list next. So you've been killing it with like taking picks before I could. Chris Mena, The Holiday. No one has picked that yet. Then you got what else? Do we have?
Little Jack Black. That's a solid film.
Then you got Definitely Not. What's going definitely? How the F is A Christmas Story not on this list? Shocker. I don't know if it's going to get drafted.
Interesting.
Ooh.
No, I don't know if I disagree with you. But I didn't know. I knew how my feelings were towards it. I didn't know your feelings towards Christmas Story. It never did it for me.
I mean, it wasn't on my list. I mean, it just
never did it for me.
It's for some reason I feel like The Christmas Story is just I fall asleep every time I watch it, and I always fall asleep in the first 10 minutes, and it's like I've never made it through that movie. I don't think I've ever watched that movie fully through. I watched maybe 3/4 of it.
I haven't seen it in forever. But all I can remember is the kid and a BB gun. Like, what else? And like some weird lamp that's like a leg lamp or something. I don't even know if I could fully break down the plot fully of that movie anymore because it's been that long since I've seen it.
All right, I think I got to go here next, and I think this is kind of a combo, but this could go either way. It's kind of like Die Hard. It's a couple different genres. Barry's like, you're out of order. Chad is out of order. This whole show is out of order. I mean, we just need to relax.
I mean, I don't know. I appreciate the passion, you know? I appreciate it. Maybe people don't vote for either of us to win at the end of this. And I thought we got off to a good start. So I don't know what's happening. Jim on Sports, if we're in it for anarchy, just let Batman Returns into the room. I mean, honestly, Batman Returns, one of the better Batman movies, right? I mean, obviously, like Dark Knight's the best or whatever, but it's certainly better than Batman and Robin.
Barry, I just woke up to
Batman Forever either.
I just woke up to my wife screaming. Love it. Longest draft in Christmas. All right. All right. Broncos is like, he's on the shot clock. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick here. I'm going to go something that's a combo again, kind of like Die Hard, but the Halloween style. We're going Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
As this next one, because he finds out about it. He's all about Sandy Claus, and it's all about, turning things into a good situation. We're going Nightmare Before Christmas, number 4.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I've seen that movie all the way through.
Seriously?
Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid and kind of just being like, this isn't for me. I wasn't that into it. And maybe I like it now, but I'm also not. Who's the guy that does that? Who's the director of that movie?
It's what's his name? Tim Jim Hansen?
Tim Burton.
Jim Hansen, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Chris Mena's got it. Hey.
By the way, did Tim Burton he do the first 2 Batmans? Now that I think about it.
I don't know.
Did he? I think he did. I think he did the original. Well, not the original, but the Michael Keaton Batmans.
And it's not claymation?
Batman and Batman Returns. I think he did. Yeah, also directed. So I was about to say, like, I don't know if Tim Burton's my guy, but I like the first 2 Batman and Batman Returns. Bronca's like Will Barton.
There you go.
On Deck does not agree with, he's like, by the way, saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie is like saying A Christmas Story is an Easter movie because Ralphie wears a bunny costume. That's right. There's another thing I forgot. He wears a bunny costume in that one.
I didn't get that far in the movie, I don't think.
But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, Die Hard, people just want to turn it into. It's fine. It's fine, Chris. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think you're one way or the other on it. Like, people are passionate that Die Hard is a Christmas movie and other people are not. Okay. All right. Last one for me. Because we got to eventually talk some NFL, right?
Yeah, we got to talk some NFL.
Generally a sports show.
Week 15, guys, coming up. Don't go anywhere. We have a special holiday coming in hot as well for Scotty. Are you both trying to lose this, Chairman?
Listen, I know, like, It's a Wonderful Life going back in the days, a popular one. But my dad would watch that every year. And I'm going to be honest, I was just watching. It was like too old for me, where I was just like, it didn't resonate with me. Same with like Miracle on 34th Street, which is a good one. And I know they remade it, but the original is probably what everyone likes the most. I'm going to go with gonna go with another one that I think the first two were rock solid. I liked it when I was a kid back, and I think this came out in the 90s. And in fact, they just, and I haven't watched this yet, but released a Disney Plus series on it, Chris, with some episodes. I'm going Santa Claus. I'm going Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I mean, that's a classic, right? I love that movie. Good storyline. You get a guy that's all of a sudden turning into Santa because Santa fell off his roof, and he just all of a sudden starts getting fat and growing a white beard, not knowing what's going on, and eating a lot of food. And then it becomes endearing with the kid because the parents are through it with a divorce and whatever. I'm here for it. We got some love it and some boo. So yeah, I'm going Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. All right.
Finish out my draft. I like my roster. I
mean, Santa Claus. That was probably one of the more common movies Christmas time that I always like. It was always on every single time, and it's a solid classic. It's a solid classic. All right, so let's see. You took that one. It
was the last one on my list of 7, so I didn't have to Google something else to figure out like where am I going to go from here.
And honestly, here we're at the bottom of the. It's weird because I say bottom of the barrel and like Christmas stories out there. People like Christmas Story, and one that is weirdly an old one. It's a little older. Broncos shot clock 24 seconds. He's counting.
Counting down.
There's 2 options here that I could go with. And one of which I think is very obscure, and one of which is a movie I recently saw that just cracks me up every time I watch it. But it's an old school movie. Hey, Jim. Thank you for gifting out a sub to Barry. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Jim.
I'm going to not go obscure here, but I am going to go with one that has some holiday spirit to it, some funny, some aspects to it. And it was introduced to me by our family that we married into, Scotty. And it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And if you haven't seen it...
Is that a Christmas movie?
It is a Christmas movie. And it is one of those that I just think is people trying to get home for Christmas and this and that. I'm gonna go with that. Is that Thanksgiving? That's not Thanksgiving, is it?
It was Thanksgiving, Chris. I just Googled it because I was like, I don't think that's a Christmas movie.
Well, then I can't pick it then, can I?
Well, and people are like, well, now you see the chat. I mean...
All right. If it's Thanksgiving, then it's automatically eliminated.
It's Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving. I can't pick it. I was. That's why I was like.
All right, Gremlins.
I had to Google it because I was like, "That's a Christmas movie?"
We're going.
You seem so certain.
We're going Gremlins. Yeah, Gremlins. Okay. One of the, Gremlins is one that is kind of one of those obscure ones, but I watched that when I was younger, and we're going Gremlins. Gremlins is who hadn't seen it. You don't put those things in water, right? And we're going Gremlins. We're going wild with the last pick, because it's the wild last pick.
Yeah. So catching up on the chat, Bear on deck. I bet when I come back, somebody has drafted a Medea Christmas. That was on my radar, along with Ernest Saves Christmas. A Medea, whatever her name is. No, I haven't seen that, but I have seen Ernest Saves Christmas. Pretty solid flick.
All right.
I also like Four Christmases. I thought about, Chris. Have you ever seen Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon? I think it's a pretty damn good movie, actually.
All right, here we go. We're gonna put the poll up.
Anyway, gotta put the poll up. You guys can vote. Look over the rosters. Vote for who you think won this draft for Christmas movies. If you had to watch 5 movies, who ya picking?
By the way, honorable mention to did you see the Disney Plus Guardians Christmas special?
I have not seen it yet.
It's not bad. It's for a short little 45-minute thing. It's not bad, There we go.
No, Chairman.
It's one or the other. Guys, vote who won the draft Which movies do you go with the push? Everyone's gotten the push. Everyone's going push. First time here. Chris, hey, Chris, man, appreciate you being here. First time. We're going to get into week 15 of the NFL. We're going to be breaking down our top 8 games. We have our best bets of the week. Don't go anywhere. It's going to come up right after this poll ends here in a second. So
hurry up on that poll. We've only got 4 votes so far, and I know there's more of you with opinions on this than just 4. Now we're up to 5, and really I'm just saying that because I'm losing right now.
Everyone's saying neither or push.
Yeah,
put your Christmas movies.
What movies did we miss?
Honestly,
put your lists out there.
Honestly, I'm a little like my list is exhausted. I was like, that was it. I don't have anything else on my list. And you said your list is crossed out. So I mean, what
but
Christmas
I do
Story?
Like 4 Christmases, I actually like a lot.
Have I seen that?
The one I was just talking about with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, pretty funny stuff. Scott is on your left with Elf as the first pick. Chris is Home Alone. Thanks for that question, Chris. That's a good point.
My name is Chris. That is
I'm
Scott.
Scott.
That's Scott. We are your host for the Action Lab. We are live every Wednesday and Sunday. Sunday Night Football, and Wednesday we break down the week's matchups. So we will be doing a lot of that coming up here in a couple minutes. So don't go anywhere. And we also have to finish out with our best bets of the week. I had a rough week, Scotty, last week. You had the best week of your life. I had the worst week of my life.
No, I didn't have the best week of my life. I lost on Monday night, so I went 3-1, but I'll take it, I guess. G-Girl has a combo of all 5 of hers we picked, though, and she has a combo of like 3 and 2 on each side, so neck and neck there. We're getting some votes in here, Chris, and it is tight. It is tight right now.
I mean, are we gonna end in a tie again? Of course.
No. Now people are doing it on purpose, Chris. Now I feel like it's purposeful. I mean, don't make me vote here.
Hey, Davey is eating a sandwich. What? What's up, Davey? How we doing? Welcome in.
Davey is eating a sandwich. He's not seating a sandwich, Chris. He's eating a sandwich.
It all blends together.
Not sitting on a sandwich.
Davey, how we doing, my friend? Welcome in. Hope you're having a fantastic. Hope you had a great stream. Hey, Davey, where are you from, and who's your team? By the way, anyone who's new, let us know who your team is and where you're from, and then vote on this poll before it's over because we're voting on our top Christmas movies. We drafted them. Let us know what you guys think, but we're going to be covering week 15 here once this poll ends here in a second. But throw out your favorite Christmas movies that we did not talk about. Green Guy Music. I'm from Chicago. I don't sports. Oh, easy enough. There you go. Well, I'm glad you're here hanging out. At least leave your favorite Christmas movie in the chat. At least do that. Davey, Sam, Fam, give ActionLab a follow. Appreciate that, love. Hey, go give Davey. Let me give Andy a shout out for you as well. Davey, appreciate that love. Yeah, how was everything tonight? Glad to have you in. Glad to have you and your community.
If you want, we're just finishing a poll before we move on to the Week 15 NFL action on whose list of Christmas movie drafts is better. Elf is me. I'm Scott on the left there. Chris on the right with Home Alone at the top. If you want to see Davies on Die Hard, which, of course, Chris, where would that put us?
Vote.
In a tie. It's, yeah. Hopefully, see, at least he's like, it's a tough call. Most people are like, I want to pick neither, which is just hurtful. Hurtful, guys.
We didn't put neither because or a push because we didn't want, I mean, historically, this is going to end in a tie and we're just going to be screwed. That's just how this works every single time. But thank you for voting, guys, in the chat. We are going to get to it's time is running out. Tick, tick, tick. Hey, Broncos, where's your shot clock?
No.
I mean, it's a race.
No.
It's a race.
No, Chris. No. Oh!
I didn't want it the last second. Let's go.
And it was 8-7 me, and then 2 votes. Chris, did you vote for yourself? Did you vote for yourself?
I did not.
Chris? I don't buy it. All of a sudden, 2 votes in the last like 5 seconds.
Davey coming in like a champion. Let's get it.
Unbelievable.
You're
all banned. You're all banned. I wanted to stay undefeated in these drafts forever.
Let's go.
Thank you, Barry. 9 people are dumb. He said it. I didn't. I'm just saying what he said in the chat.
I'm going to say
guys.
right now, anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Chris, and this is a little off, but I think Jim on Sports was talking about the mommy kissing Santa Claus and daddy or whatever. Did you see a clip recently of a comedian that talks about like a year ago or 2 years ago or whenever it was that people were trying to cancel the song "Baby It's Cold Outside" because it's
I heard that.
It's too it's inappropriate and it's this guy's forcing whatever this female into staying and we can't possibly listen to that. And he's like, just so we're clear, he's like, it's fine if you guys have that opinion, totally fine. But at the same time, the number one song in the country was at the time that everyone was trying to get "Baby It's Cold Outside" canceled?
Mm-mm.
It's a song called WAP, Chris. WAP. And if you don't know what WAP stands for, guys,
Google it. Yeah. No, don't Google it. Don't Google it.
No, go ahead and Google it. It's wet. And, the first word is wet.
We're getting...
you can get from there. And he literally, like, starts reading up the lyrics. And it's like, I really can't stay. Maybe it's going. It's like, get after my... Yeah. So
it's getting a little spicy.
Pretty funny little shtick that comedian had, but right? That's like how backwards some people can be sometimes.
So
like,
wild,
let's cancel this, but also
Google safe search on.
Love me that WAP song. Love me that WAP song.
Barry's all about the WAP. He is that's his intro to his show, I think, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
That checks out.
Spicy. All right. Guys, all right. Thank you. Hope you had a great time. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas, by the way, if we don't see you between now and then. But, guys, go and pause. Anyways.